Hello, how are you? It's Jeannie, and welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here, and a great big thank you to my girl Maria from Gentle Whispering for sending you here. And I guess I'm not a gnat on the ass of a rat anymore. So anyway, in light of the fact that I'm going to be hitting 20,000 subscribers, which for me is a big deal, I know in the world of YouTube it isn't a huge number, but I, for one, am very grateful for that number. And for all of you and your beautiful, kind comments. I really get that you want a motherly vibe, a grandmotherly vibe, and I'm happy that I can fill that niche. I never thought I would be, filling that kind of a niche before, but if being older and talking to you helps comfort you and bring you some peace and nurturing, I'm very happy to be doing it and giving advice all along the way, because remember, I know everything, right? I don't. Anyway, a couple of things to start off with. Since I am hitting 20,000, and maybe by the time I actually upload this, I will be in the 20,000s. I'm at very close right now. I want to do a kind of a quick answering 20 questions, because I have been peppered with a lot of different questions, and I thought, well, if 10 people have that question, maybe more do. So put your questions to me in the comments, and I will pick 20 of the best ones to answer. Okay? And make sure they're not too weird. Okay? So, anyway, I wanted to show you this. I'm drawing up official adoption papers for Maria. And because I'm adopting that girl, I am claiming her as our youngest daughter, and she will be, so she'll be the baby of the family and very spoiled. So Maria, I am your American mom. You can call me Mama J. And in the transaction, I also get to adopt cute Daryl, her amazing husband, and Mila as another grandchild. So don't go running too far with this information. But anyway, I would love to be her American mom. So that's my little joke to start with. A couple of things that I'll start off with that were questions about me. What does my husband do? He just retired from being United Airlines 787 Dreamliner captain, 36 years. But now he's flying corporate, smaller planes, smaller jets, and doing that not quite as often, but he enjoys that. He wasn't ready to leave the skies. So that's one question. Yes, I'm married and my husband is a pilot. The other one, let's see, I got what I do. Well, my background has been in real estate and also in staging, real estate staging, and I used to train for other people in that real estate boards. I do various 3-day trainings, And I spoke for 3-day seminars 2-3 times a month all over the United States and Canada. So I used to travel a lot, and I would be up in front of people talking for 3 days nonstop. And I think that's where I learned to drone on and on and on, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So that's a little bit of my background. Something fun I used to be a skydiver. Not like professional or anything like that. It was just for fun. We used to skydive out of Lodi, and that was fun. I used to be addicted to the adrenaline. So that's a little fact about me that I used to do for fun. I don't anymore. And I went from skydiving to horses, and I think the horses, I got more hurt and broken up than skydiving ever did for me. Who knew? Anyway, I'm also a winemaker. I went through UC Davis's winemaking program, and I make private label wine, and we had our own brand for a while, but being very small and boutique, and with the pandemic hitting, it made pricing changes and some products difficult to get, and so that is a thing that takes a lot of resources, and we just didn't want to keep putting that out there when things were difficult for more boutique winemakers like me. So, and when the kids were in high school, I used to be PTA co-president, and I did that so that I could keep an eye on all the kids, because high schoolers, if you remember what that was like, that could be a really interesting time. And so because I was so involved in their school, all the kids knew me. Our house was often filled with teenagers, and I loved that. Some of them didn't have close relationships with their parents, and so I got to be kind of the mom that everybody talked to and confided in and got advice from. And I, did my best to keep everybody on the straight and narrow as much as possible. One of the funny things about being PTA, co-president when I was, is I would be in the lunchroom when all the kids are having lunch, and I'd kind of sit by my kids and their groups, and I'd just be working on my paperwork or some project, and they act like I couldn't hear. And I would be hearing the weekend plans coming up, whose parents were out of town, and who was going to be having a party and where. And I would look at these kids thinking, hello, I'm right here. So there were times I was able to head off trouble at the pass before things got bad. It's high school, and the kids were young, and certain things I would let go in one ear and out the other, and other things, it was like, oh no, I am putting a stop to that, and I am going to protect you from yourself. And very often they didn't know who was behind these things being found out. They couldn't put two and two together that they were talking about it, and I was right there. They know now. It's so funny because we laugh about it now looking back. So, anyway, just a little factoid about me and, some of our, teenage raising moments. Something else I used to do that I think you might find interesting is I used to raise and train hand train lovebirds. And that was really amazing. One time we had this clutch, which is what you call a, little collection of babies, a little clutch. I had a great mom and a great dad, lovebird, and we raised these babies, and you would have to take them out at about 10 or 12 days to start getting them hand raised and hand tamed. And I made sure that they were very people oriented. If you didn't do that, they would bond to their mom and then bite the people who, might try to hold them. So I raised very loving lovebirds. Anyway, one time I was in Germany, and my mom and dad were watching a new clutch in its own cage, great big cage on rollers, and then also the mom and dad in a separate cage because they had already been separated. And so my mom and dad had, I called them Meanie and Weenie. Weenie was the dad, Meanie was the mom. She was a little bit nasty, but she was a good mom. Anyway, they had her out on their back patio, and they had the clutch in the kitchen. My mom was making some fajitas or some kind of stir-fry dish for my dad, and so she took it to him. And in the time that she came back, the entire clutch, every baby, all 5 of them were on the ground on the bottom of the cage, dead. And what we discovered was the Teflon that she was using in her pan put off so many toxic gases that it killed the entire little clutch of babies. It was disastrous. That was just so heartbreaking for her to deal with, and knowing she was in charge of them while I was out of the country. She didn't tell me right away. I would call and talk to my parents and ask about, tell the baby birds I love them. Tell, Meanie and Weenie hello for me. But I never asked how they were. Otherwise, she couldn't have hidden it from me. She couldn't lie to me. But it was really sad, and we learned a lot about that, the gases that Teflon puts out. And we actually, after that, got rid of all our Teflon cookware, because if it was enough to kill an entire clutch of lovebird babies only 10 feet away, what is it doing to us as we're cooking in the pan right over it? So that was a real eye-opening tragedy. So anyway, when she did tell me, she felt so bad. She was sobbing, and I was sad, of course, but I couldn't blame her. She didn't know. We didn't know. So anyway, that's a little fact about me. So I've appreciated the comments, and I'm really trying hard to answer as many of them as I can. It's a little time-consuming right now. When I came home from vacation for one of our daughter's birthdays, we went up to Donner, had a great, several days on the lake, had a couple of nice houses up there, and all the kids came, and some friends. I think there were about 18 of us. We had such a lovely time. But when I got back, that cold or allergies or whatever that was that I had had the week before came back in full force. So I've just been really dragging, and so I'm better now. Still a little down, still have, dark circles under my eyes, and, a runny nose and sneezing, but I'll be okay. I think it's allergies. I don't know what it is, what I could be allergic to, but I think it's allergies. So, anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. And a lot of the recommendations that you're giving me, by the way, I am actually ordering like things like licorice. And I think I'm going to just save these up. And do a taste test. So, we're actually having a dinner party Friday night coming up, and I'm wondering what I can spring on my guests to test out and try. So, because that's just always fun. Anyway, thank you for your support, your kindness, your views, your words. Thank you, Maria, for sharing the best people with me. That just makes me so happy. And I really am enjoying this. And I look forward to many more. So, send me your questions. Put them in the comments below. Make them interesting. And maybe they will be among the 20 that I respond to. So I'll do it again maybe at 50 if there are any good ones I can't get to. So thank you, and I will see you soon. I bid you peace. I bid you adieu. And I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.